Now this is what every vegetable farmer wants to see. Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Papa.
I'm Megan.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Kelly.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. We are currently finishing up morning chores. I just got all the eggs collected. The cattle have been fed, chickens have been fed, calves have been fed, and we were checking on these plants to make sure they have all been watered. We've been moving on to some pretty high-tech ways to make sure that everything's been watered easily and efficiently. It's been working pretty good. Last thing I needed to check was everything that we recently seeded and moved into greenhouse number 5. And it's a good idea I came in here because check it all out. The seedlings are popping up out of the soil. And yeah, those germination rates are looking pretty good. And that was expected with how warm it's been. So that is very, very nice to see, and soon enough these will be going in the soil. But before I can worry about getting all that cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower planted, I've got things I need to worry about today. And side note, before I run off and get ready for my next job, I wanted to show you we were able to get some sawdust. Got a whole bunch of bedding put in here for the cattle, and they are all sitting back there and enjoying it. Animals are now all finished and we're getting ready to move on to our next job. And that next job involves heading out to the fields because we need to do some picking.
Now don't drive so fast. It's only us two today.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Well, are you gonna get out of the side-by-side? Are you coming?
No, you drove too fast. Now my stomach's all jumbly-wumbly. I gotta sit here for a minute.
Jumbly-wumbly. Boy, Daniel's being a little intense today, but you know what'll fix that? Some good old-fashioned picking. Daniel and I have got a few things that we need to grab, but first on the list is broccoli. And I don't think that's gonna be too difficult today. We got some beautiful heads. Now this is what every vegetable farmer wants to see. And what is that, you might ask? A head of broccoli on each and every plant. Now they're not all ready to harvest yet, but that's not a big problem. It's just nice to know that our hard work has paid off and we're gonna have plenty of broccoli to harvest. And some of you might notice that certain heads are larger, like this one here, as opposed to that one, but that's a good thing. We don't want all the broccoli to be ready to harvest at the same time. Well, because we won't be able to sell it all that quick. There's different things you can do to try and sell more broccoli, but you can only encourage the people in your local area to eat so much broccoli. I mean, you got broccoli salad, you got steamed broccoli. There's so many different things you can use broccoli for. And we tell people that, but still, it's just a lot of broccoli here. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows that basically extend the whole length of this field. And we've got certain spots where the broccoli just looks like this. I mean, look at all these beautiful heads. We're gonna take that one, we're gonna take this one, and I might as well take this one as well. That's a beautiful one. All the broccoli's looking pretty good that we're cutting today, but if everything looked like this while we were harvesting, ooh, it'd be easy to sell. As I was cutting this broccoli, I was thinking about the past few years that we've been able to harvest spring and early summer broccoli, and it has not been this nice. We've always been able to get some broccoli, but the big problem we run into is it would always shoot straight to seed or would always flower right away because of the intense heats that we would start getting. Now, if you recall, we just went through a crazy heat wave, which normally would cause us to lose a bulk of this broccoli. However, I think we planted our broccoli in the perfect location this year. You can see we've got this tree line right here, and it shades the broccoli for a bulk of the morning, which is a big help. It doesn't help with the hot, hot afternoon sun, but if we can shade some of it for at least a short period of time, I think that's gonna benefit us. And while you saw the broccoli that we've been picking, I think it's working, and if things continue to go this way, we're gonna be able to harvest broccoli for a long time. As long as the broccoli doesn't start growing too fast and we're not able to harvest it all. If it gets to the point where all the broccoli is ready to harvest, and we're not gonna be able to sell it through the farm market, we could take it to a local auction, which truthfully is not something we'd like to do. We'd like to sell everything here. But you know what? You do what you can. And we got our broccoli picked, so it's on to the next vegetable. When you're doing this, you got to be careful. Don't hit the fingers. Oh, that's the last thing you want. You can sell these kohlrabi with the leaves on. However, we like to chop them all off. We feel like it makes the vegetable look a lot nicer and easier to sell. Plus the leaves, nobody really wants them in the local area where we live, so we usually just throw them on the ground. A lot of the nutrients that these different types of vegetables need is found in the leaves of the vegetables themselves. So when we throw the leaves back into the field, it's basically like composting the leaves. This is what we got started off with today. We got 3 beautiful baskets of broccoli and a basket of kohlrabi. Now, yesterday we got a lot of picking done on the farm. However, I wasn't recording because we were dealing with like 30 to 40 mile an hour sustained winds. And let me just tell you, it was loud out here. The camera would not pick up anything, and yeah, it wasn't a fun time to be recording. Before we head back to the farm though, I'll take you for a little ride and show you what we did get done. I'll start off right here. To my left is our batch, or our first patch of shell peas. Now, Dad and I went through yesterday and picked 6 rows. Yes, 6 rows of peas, but we only ended up with 2 half-bushel baskets of shell peas, which in other years, that would be about like 20 to 30 baskets of shell peas. We're thinking right when these peas were pollinating, or when the peas were starting to develop, we got hit with that really, really hot weather. And I just don't think the peas liked it. See, peas can handle quite a bit of cold weather, but the second it starts to get hot out, yeah, that's when it becomes a problem. And I'm thinking this whole first batch of shell peas, that's what happened. So we picked all of our first planting of shell peas, and we got about 2 half bushels, which, as you could imagine, is not ideal. Our main goal was gonna be try and get some orders picked, but it wasn't gonna happen. If you don't have it, well, you can't pick it. So with these peas not producing like we wanted them to, and with the crazy weather that we had yesterday, you'd think, well, that wasn't a fun day of picking. But let me tell you, you'd be wrong, because it ended up being phenomenal. These rows right behind me are our pickling cucumbers, regular cucumbers, and zucchini, yellow squash, and yellow zucchini. And we harvested our pickling cucumbers for the first time yesterday, and we got over 10 half bushel. Now that's off our first picking. That is crazy good, because these plants haven't even fully developed yet. As many of you know, we harvest a lot of pickling cucumbers and regular cucumbers here on the farm. But the fact that we were able to get 10 half bushel of pickling cucumbers off our first picking, well, let me just say, Grandpa was doing his cucumber dance in the field. I don't know if you've ever seen the cucumber dance. It's intense. It's an intense dance. There's arms going all over the place, but regardless, maybe one day we'll be able to catch it. Not only did we get the pickling cucumbers, but we were also able to harvest our yellow squash. We got 2 half bushel of that. We were able to get about a half bushel of yellow zucchini, and then we finished off with getting 5 half bushel of just our regular zucchini, which is a nice picking. For a lot of these crops being the first or second time they've been picked, that's pretty good. And I can assure you, with the weather we're having, these cucumbers are just gonna continue to explode, and we're gonna be doing plenty more picking. So yesterday we did pick a lot of broccoli, but we had a few orders. We picked the peas, which was kind of a sad moment. Well, I shouldn't say sad, just disappointing moment. And then we finished off with our pickling cucumbers and our zucchini, yellow squash and yellow zucchini. Yesterday was a good day of picking, and I think today's gonna be just as good. We're very optimistic about the future, especially with everything that's growing here. Tomatoes look absolutely amazing. The peppers look awesome. Our cantaloupe and watermelon look good. It's gonna be a busy summer. Like a really, really busy summer. Hi, Callie. I got kohlrabi and broccoli. You wanna eat some kohlrabi? I'll slice you some up. Here's your kohlrabi. Are you excited?
Took it to about the field
Yep, I picked them out of the field.
just for me.
Just for you. We got everything moved into the cooler. I got some kohlrabi sliced up for Callie. Now Daniel and I need to head down around back. We have a little job we need to take care of for my Aunt Rhonda. While we were seeding the other day, we had forgot to seed some flowering kale for her. We sell quite a bit of flowering kale on the farm here in fall, and now is the time for it to be seeded. It would have been much easier if we got this taken care of when we were seeding all our cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower, but like I mentioned, we forgot, so now we gotta do it. Daniel and I got finished with all that seeding back at the farm, so we felt like it was a great opportunity to get back out to the fields and do some more picking. Now this is where we were picking yesterday. We picked these 3 rows of pickling cucumbers. And if you notice, the plants are kind of rolled up on themselves a little bit. That's from the wind that we had yesterday. That wind was really blowing. But we're not worried about pickling cucumbers today. Well, maybe we are. Daniel's eating one right now. He's worried about it. But we're worried about the regular cucumbers, so we're gonna get started picking. From what I'm seeing, there's a lot of cucumbers that are just on the verge of being ready to pick. We also have quite a few here that are ready to harvest today, but it looks like towards the end of the week and moving into next, we're gonna be having a lot more cucumbers out here. Man, you guys should hear the pollinators flying around me this morning as I'm picking. What's nice is these fields that we are at, very close, one of our neighbors is raising a few hives of bees. So it's cool to see the amount of honeybees flying around doing their pollinating. We always tend to get quite a few pollinators here, which is really, really nice. Some people have asked why we don't raise honeybees ourselves, and the big reason for that is because it just takes time. We're already as busy as we can really be. Adding another thing just probably wouldn't be a good idea. It would probably be something fun to experience and work with for a while, but I'm concerned I would not give it the attention that it really needs for it to work well. So rather than doing something poorly, I'd rather let some people in the local area do it really, really efficiently. And I think our crops appreciate that as well. Well, that didn't take too long, probably because there wasn't too much there to pick. We had already gone through and picked the cucumbers once, and we did that pretty early on. We took a lot of the smaller ones as well. That way, we didn't have to worry about them getting too big. And I think that was the right decision because our second time coming through, we got about 5 baskets of cucumbers, and all of them look really nice. Hopefully, if the weather continues to cooperate and we don't get affected by too much disease, we can pick these cucumbers for a long time. Now, don't go too fast, Daniel, and knock over my cucumbers.
I'm a professional, Andrew.
Our peppers are looking a lot nicer than they did when they were first transplanted. We think this heat really got to them that we had. Hopefully things cool down and they can continue to grow and get a nice root base going. We just took a little detour on the way home. We wanted to stop by the potatoes. These are our early potatoes. These have already finished blossoming. We're just getting a look at what we got going on there.
That's the potato seed.
Yep, seed potato there.
Then right here is all your little potatoes are coming.
Ooh, look at that. Very cool, very cool. So we have our early variety, and then this middle section I'm in right now, this is our later variety of potatoes. And then over there you can see all the blossoms Those potatoes look really, really nice. Everything here looks really, really nice. Thankfully, we haven't had to worry too much about moisture. It's rained enough for our potatoes. We didn't want to run pipe all the way through here, but if it's gonna get really, really dry, we just might do that. And uh-oh, check it out. In-depth look at the sweet corn. Look at this, we've got ears coming. The pollination process is taking place. And these ears are starting to grow nice. Woo, move up a little bit. These ears are a little bit larger. Pollination is going on something fierce right now. Beautiful. The silk on the top of these ears of corn is really, really sticky. And that's so it can grab onto all the pollen falling down. That way we can get nice filled out ears. Sometimes when it gets really, really dry, this silk will actually dry out early, which is not a good thing because then your ear won't fill out all the way to the end. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about that, but I think it's gonna be cool enough and wet enough this year. That shouldn't really be a problem. You can see all the way down through these rows, all the ears, that pink silk that looks so nice. All we need is for all of this stuff to fall off of here and onto that silk, and whoo-hoo, these ears will be looking good. I love farming. It's so much fun. You get to learn a bunch of stuff, you get to eat a bunch of stuff, and let me just say, growing food, it just feels good. Look who's here. We got Mommy with little Lily, and then we got Aunt Kim holding Ronnie. Ronnie's sleeping. I won't bother him too much. They're both sleeping. Check that out. Speaking of sleeping, that's what I might be doing after lunch. And it looks like we are having tacos today. Taco Tuesday. Callie, it's Taco Tuesday. How's that blueberries? Are they yummy?
What color?
They're blue.
You see Megan? Hi. Welcome to the farm market. Do you see Megan? She's right here. Hello. And there's me. Hello. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great.
After we finished off lunch, we just ended up working here at the farm a little bit. Farm market's been pretty busy, so I've been helping up there. You haven't seen Dad today. He's been at the auction. He should be getting home soon. He was picking up some stuff that we needed. And Matthew, well, he's on a little anniversary trip with his wife, Tracy, so we won't be seeing him this week. But Daniel decided to go out. He was preparing some ground to plant beans, and I think he's probably working on planting by now. And then once Dad gets home, we'll help him get his truck unloaded. But for now, I'm just here grading eggs. Lots and lots of eggs. Dad is now back from the wholesaler. He picked up quite a bit of stuff. Looks like we got some cabbage in there, and then some peaches. And then check out these 2 bins of cantaloupe. Oh, they smell so good. Dad was also able to pick up some cauliflower, which is very good because you don't have spring cauliflower. And sweet corn. Now what's cool about the sweet corn, from what I understand, this came from about an hour drive away. So it just helps you appreciate how different the growing conditions that some people can have, and how weather and elevation and so many different things can make a difference. This sweet corn looks pretty good. I'm sure we'll be able to sell it throughout the week, and hopefully soon we'll be picking our own. How's that sweet corn?
Good.
Good?
Now
Now that Dad is home, we want to get out into the field and do some transplanting. We have some pickling cucumbers, some regular cucumbers, and zucchini that really need to be put into the soil. We've already got them all loaded onto the planter. We're just changing out our wheels, and then we'll be good to go. There's the second wheel. We only needed 1 wheel, so we had to take the other one off. That was a little bit of a tight squeeze, but he got it. Last time I was planting left-handed, so today, I'm making Daniel plant left-handed. How do you feel about this, Daniel?
I'm ambidextrous.
You're ampliflextrous?
Ambidextrous.
Oh, okay. And we're off. Back to transplanting. I think I've done this once before. Something I'm noticing is this ground is a little on the harder side. So we're having to use quite a bit of force to get these plants in the soil, which is not too bad where we're at right now. At the other end of the field, it's a little bit rockier. Now we did do our best to pick the rocks out of this field, but you can't get them all, and sometimes some of the smaller ones will squeak through. So we're just gonna have to be careful with our fingers at the other end. This side doesn't look too bad, but the other end might be a problem. Now right now we're transplanting our pickling cucumbers. This is gonna be a part of our second planting. We usually will try and squeak out a third planting, but we direct seed our third planting. So it grows actually pretty quickly. I mean, we're probably gonna direct seed here soon. And the direct seeding seems to work pretty well once the ground is warmed up really nice, which is why we kind of wait to do that with our last and final planting of the year. So we have a little bit of a plan for everything left on the planner. We have green zucchini, and yellow squash. We're gonna be doing 2 trays of the green zucchini, and then we're gonna be moving on to the specialty stuff, so the yellow zucchini and yellow squash. And then we're gonna finish off with whatever green zucchini plants that we have. And the reason for that is because my mom likes to pick the blossoms and sell them. So we're trying to make sure that we have a little like breakup point, or just something that'll help us to differentiate between either zucchinis, whether it's for us or for the blossoms.
Hey, just to keep your mother under control. She gets in the wrong path.
Yeah, there was a time where mom was picking her flowers out of our zucchini patch, and dad had a canary. He was hot. Not really, but he was like, she's taking all my blossoms. There goes dad. We are now finished with transplanting for today. We just finished up our 4th row. So we had all this open area down there. We have about 3/4 of a row down here on the bottom, and maybe like 10 feet on our 4th row. We'll be able to get that filled up at another time, but that is a beautiful looking field. And what's double nice is that we've already got all the drip lines hooked up over here, so we don't even need to worry about anything. I mean, look at these little tomatoes. The second planting of tomatoes is saying, ooh, nice job, guys, thank you. Well, I don't know if that's what the tomatoes are saying, but if tomatoes could talk, that's what I'd hope they'd be saying. Alrighty, everyone, for dinner tonight, we are at the farmhouse. It is gonna be a little light, but we are having hamburgers, and then what did you make, macaroni salad? Oh, yes. Oh, that's gonna be so good. We've got mommy right here. We got little Lily, and I'm holding Ronnie. He just spit up on me. It was kind of awesome. But yeah, since we're getting ready to sit down and eat some dinner, that means this is where we're gonna be ending the video today.
I like the video.
As always, everyone, we'd like to thank everybody for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.